YouTube, it is I, Sakarma, coming to you with some more early access from the Queen and the Crone DLC. Yes, more of that. So this one will be showing off my favorite faction from Game 1, Bretonia, with some of the regiments of renown, and see how they perform against Gojira, who has a channel, Gojira Gaming, which I'll be linking to below. He will bring the Beastmen of Gren. Remember, Gojira is everyone's favorite 12-year-old YouTuber slash Warhammer player. He's the best 12-year-old Warhammer player in the world, so everyone, give him a shout-out. He's a very good player, especially for his age. I hope to see how he develops in the years to come. Anyways, so he brought the Beastmen, so I'll be seeing some of their regiments of renown here in this battle, too. So this is, obviously, we know the regiments of renown, but that was in Game 1. This is Game 2, a very, very different game. So we'll go, over a little bit of how they perform. I had something else I wanted to note. Oh yeah, he brought Beastmen right away, Vanguard deployment, so quick battle, so it's a fun time. And we played one more before this. We played 3 games in total, Gojira and I. He won the first one, which I'm sure he'll probably cast on his channel, which was I brought Chaos, and he brought Norska, or the other way around. No, yeah, I brought Chaos, he brought Norska, and yeah, he crushed me. But the other 2 ones will be cast on my channel. So I want to let you know, guys, that I do, I don't want to feel like anyone's going to be like, oh, yeah, you don't cast your losses. I did not cast a loss, but I did lose. I want everyone to know that I do lose often. So there's my preamble. So let's talk about the interesting stuff. So here we have the Grail Knights, which we all know. No, they're not a regiment of renown. These guys are. So here, let's see what we got. The Questing Knight, the Companions of Quenelle. So 47 melee attack, 48 melee defense. So those are really, really good stats, especially for cav. Obviously, these are melee cav, so you want them to have stats of that line. 5,000 health, which I think is better than, oh no, about the exact same. But still, 5,000 health is no joke. 56 charge bonus, which is being buffered by the, boosted rather. No, buffed rather. I keep saying buffered. Buffed by the Lance formation. So with that 56, that's quite good. Armor piercing, also very good. 75 speed, very fast for heavy cav. Especially compared to other factions like the Empire, who usually are at 66. So yeah, very, very cool. Good little unit. I think in this game they're going to perform much better due to the buffs made to the Lance formation. I don't even think they're allowed to have the Lance formation. And of course they have the Blessing of the Lady, which adds that 20 physical resist. They have a resistance to fire, which is pretty useful in certain matchups, and immunity psychology. So they're going to be useful. And this is one of my favorite units from last game in terms of regiments of renown, the Knights of the Lionhearted. They're basically cheap Grail Knights. They're about 250 less, but they have virtually very similar stats. They do cause fear, which is interesting. They have 38, 36, 37 with a, how much bonus? 10 versus large, versus the Grail Knights who have 38, 30, and 38. And what's their bonus at? Let's see. And their bonus is 12. So these guys are a little bit better. Of course, they cost a little bit more. But they have a physical resist. They have the Blessing of the Lady. So you do get some things with the Grail Knights that you don't get with the Knights of the Lionhearted. But still, for that extra, for 250 save, it's up to you how you want to play that. But anyways, yeah. So that's the regiments of renown that I brought. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Oh, and of course, one more. I brought these guys, who I think will be much better in this game than they were. I almost never brought them in the last game, only because, pardon me, Skirmisher Cav was pretty garbage in Game 1, but in Game 2, Skirmisher Cav is very much in the meta right now. It's very much the in thing to have. It's in vogue, of course. You want to have the Skirmisher Cav to bring down the monsters, and also if you have a static line of skirmishers, they will get crushed by monsters. So this is very much the way to do things in the current iteration of the game. Over here we have 25 damage, which is a lot. 3 armor piercing, really weak, but poison, very good. The melee stats are pretty poor, or pretty garbage, pretty weak. But still, 125 range, 25 poison damage, not bad at all. And of course, they're very fast at 92. And compared to these guys, they just, are much better across the board. Although, I'm not sure you would ever want to bring them. I tried them in this matchup only because it's Beastmen, so I figured I could take down some Centaurs. It'll help them get away from Centaurs, because Centaurs have 95 speed, so that's going to be huge. Anyways, what did Gojira bring? I'll get rid of the rest of my army, actually, rather. 3 foot squires, 3 men-at-arms, favor the Damsel of Life, and Luan Liqueur. No one cares, because we all know those units. So over here, Gojira brought Kazrak, which is cool, on a chariot, who I think can forward deploy now. That's actually something really interesting. He actually can forward deploy. Yes, even on a chariot. So as you can see, he's one of the only lords, I think, in the game that can forward deploy. So he comes up right here with his giant line of Ungor Herd ready to smash into my line. So very interesting move on Gojira's part. He's got some Centaurs on the flank. He has these guys, Black Horns Ravagers, who have really high stats, 36, 47, 30. Of course, none of that is armor piercing, but they also seem to have a special ability. What's that there? What's this thing? It looks like a liver or a pancreas. Rowdy. Ooh, they're rowdy guys. Ooh, some rowdy Ravagers over here. Some rowdy Ravagers ready to just, rip apart my Bretonian line. Perfect vigor, leadership, very cool. Yeah, you don't want to be... Centaurs are emboldened when fighting, drinking... They don't all have rowdy, do they? No, just these guys do. So they are some rowdy failures, guys, so we want to be careful with the Blackhorns Ravagers. They are immune to psychology, which is huge for Beastmen. Yeah, no... Oh, these guys are all immune to psychology. What is that? Oh, that's just Frenzy. Is that the effect of Frenzy? It must be this effect. Primal Fury, yeah. Okay, so that's nothing special to them. They have stock, but yeah, so the rowdies is unique to them. And when does it stop pop? When does it not work? Constant. So very, very good. So they'll never tire, and they have an extra leadership compared to the other units. And that doesn't spread to other units, does it? No, just them. So that's interesting. Over here, where's the other Benjamin round? These guys, the Koroks Man-Rippers. So they are not rowdy. These are the calm Man-Rippers, but they have some really good stats. So we're looking at 40 melee attack, 44 melee defense, 39, bonus versus larger 16. They're just like a good all-around unit that 7,500 health too is very, very high. So a good all-around unit that can just be effective against virtually any enemy. Very much like a Black Art Nagaron type unit. So we've seen this. So of course they, pardon me, they don't have. You can't have a line of these guys. But yeah, they're just basically a Black Art Nagaron or a Phoenix Guard for the Beastmen. So a good all-around unit, just ready there. Halberd infantry, elite Halberd infantry that can just sort of Swiss Army knife, so to speak, and then of course especially against large. And then he's got a break Shaman Shadows, blah blah blah, and then some Minotaurs and some Spearmen. So let's get the game started. So right away, oh, wrong button, there we go. So I'm trying to peel back because I don't want to fight these guys. They do all have shields, so that's unfortunate. But I'm pretty confident that my Foot Squire is going to take care of them. Over here he overextends, charges right into these Spearmen, which I'm perfectly happy with, and I countercharge my Lights of the Lionhearted, so we're going to take those guys down pretty quickly. Over here I'm getting my Squires in, my Foot Squires in to fight this. I want to try and keep my Spearmen back, because there's no reason to lose them. I'm going to need them to fight the Minotaurs. Over here, try and snipe out Kazrak, but he just pulls right through, and he's going to be very dangerous. Up the center, I prank these Companions of Quinel to hopefully bolster the fight. And there's nothing anti-large here, so I figured they could just smash through in moments. But Kazrak is doing a lot of damage to these Foot Squires, a lot more than I anticipated. Over here, we are doing a lot of damage to them, though, and of course, they can't really do much to my Knights. I'm able to pull these guys out and get a nice side charge on these dudes and get some, some units as they charge through, and then they're going to get shot by arrows, so that's a good pickup on my part. But the Minotaurs are great weapons who do have a bonus versus large are going to come in here and make this fight a lot more complicated. I don't know how they're losing units. The I can't talk. The Companions of Quinel, maybe to Kazrak, but yeah, they should. But they were able to pretty much dunter the Blackhorn of Ravagers, which is very good on my part. Over here, I don't know what did damage us there. That was strange. But we've been drawn into them, which is not a good place we want to be. I am sending my Spearmen to sort of relieve that force. The Knights of the Lionhearted, I pulled into this center fight to help with these Minotaurs, but they're not doing great. He gets a nice Penendulum Penumbra on the Warrens of Manfort, and they are going to be out of here. They are going to be out of here. These dudes are now fighting Gorok's Man-Rippers and some anti-large Minotaurs, so I really should have been on my micro and gotten them out of there, but unfortunately I was not. Quinel's Companions have also been, getting hurt pretty bad. Over here I've cleaned up these Centaurs in the back, and my Grey Knights are pretty much in perfect health, so that's looking good for me. Over here King Luan is trying to get some damage done on Karak, basically trying to hunt him down, but Karak's slippery. Kazrak rather. Kazrak. Oh, the dwarves, they have a grudging for me now. I've mispronounced the names. Oh boy. I'm gonna have a Slayer come at my door and try and rip out my gizzards. Anyways, yeah, we've been trying to get Kazrak, pardon me, to the Dowie. Kazrak with King Luan, but he's been slippery, he's been hard to hit. Over here, we're trying to reform our lines because our infantry is obviously all dead, except for a few Foot Squires, but they're gonna, last they're gonna die very quickly against these Minotaurs. So his infantry is all very much his infantry corps rather is very much intact, whereas all my units are really beat up. But I'm getting some good kills on these Foot Squires. I do have Luan, which is, who can snipe out his lords in a moment if I need to. The danger is the Korok's Man-Rippers alongside the Minotaurs. That's going to be very, very difficult to deal with. Luan comes down here and tries to get a charge on this guy. He gets a nice hit, do a ton of damage. I probably should have gone after Kazrak, but I wasn't having success getting him because he's actually really hard to hit on that chariot, surprisingly enough. He brings these Spearmen in, but they're going to be, almost useless. I am just firing in. I don't mind that. I think they have shields. They do not, so that's good. That's good target for us. We do get him poisoned, so Luan's going to come in here and get some damage done. He is trying to chase away these Companions of Quinel, who I'm more than happy to have him distracted with while I try and take out Kazrak. And we're getting a lot of damage done, and we're actually going to start to rout him. But he does pull through his infantry, a very smart move. I'm going to keep following with Luan. I'm going to take to the air, but I realize, okay, turn around. Over here, I'm able to get a nice charge on these guys with the Knights of the Lionhearted to do some more damage. These guys are anti-large, so should be doing some serious damage. And I'm like, oh, can I just get one hit on Kazrak? That'll put him down. but he's able to get in here with these full health unit of Minotaurs, and unfortunately I'm not able to get the hit I need. That does damage, but not enough. They're able to pretty much kill except for this lone, oh no, it's like this one last guy, all his friends are dead, you know, so the Knights of the Lionhearted are now just the Knight of the Lionhearted, and he is ready to get at it. But look how he's covered in blood, you know. Oh man, that's a sweet picture though, look at that. That's pretty cool. So he's fleeing, Luan is trying to run away, we are surrounded, but yeah, very good job. And I like how there's just a ghost everywhere he goes, because it's in slow-mo. And then but I'm able to pull him out. I do cast Awakening the Wood just to slow everything down and give him you know, some buffer so he can get out of there. I am able to sort of just, you know, get rid of some of his other forces while all this is happening. You know, just whittle them down. I should have probably been conserving my ammo for these Minotaurs who don't have the highest armor, only 35. That probably would have been the best use of their arrows, but I don't know. Everything in hindsight. The Koroks Bannerrippers do get in here against the Grail Knights, which is very, very scary, so I have to pull them out immediately. The archers are firing in here, trying to get these guys to flee. It's not working out the best for me, but what can you do? I'm going to go deal with these Blackhorns Ravagers, and I'm going to try and get rid of Karak One-Eye. Over here, the commands of Quinel. I'm just leading these guys in a merry old chase while his ball is just, you know, trying to chase my Cav. And Karak actually came back for a second, then he fled because this is a scary army he does not want to deal with. I do now start to get these archers firing onto the Minotaurs, and it actually is doing not bad damage. I should have conserved really the Montfort. They would have been the best to fire at these guys. I get a nice charge in with Luan. I don't know why I did that. That was a really bad idea. I thought I could just get a quick charge in, and they get him. He gets Melkoffed, and they get him on a nice little side charge, and that was huge. That was a very bad idea on my part, but I was able to draw him this way, and he should have kept them in with the the Goroks. And I bring her in to fight the Gorok and try and slow them down, but it doesn't really work great. I'm going to cast, I think, Regrowth on them. Yeah, Regrowth, which is huge. It probably saves his life, and I get a nice rear charge with all my knights in there. But he is aggressively trying to get rid of Luan. It's very, very dicey here, because if I had lost Luan, I probably would have been the game. He does bring this potential book down, but I was already on my way out, so it wasn't the best use of that. It's actually going to do more damage to him. I am able to get some side charge of my Foot Squires and lock him down, and we are able to escape with a little bit of health left. That was a very bad play on my part, but it was all okay. It all worked out. Over here, I'm going to start, you know, charging in with these mounted yeomen, just try and get rid of his chaff. This will make the fight a little bit easier, because he does still have a lot of health on these guys, and I don't have any archers left. We are still firing in, of course, with the Montfort, the Warrens of Montfort, but they're not, of course, the greatest units to deal with this. Luan is almost at his healing cap, so very close to death. These guys keep retreating and coming back, but they're such low leadership and low health. What is he at? 53. He's not going to fight for long. And I actually send these guys over there to deal with them, because this is pretty much all I have left. All my infantry is routed. I still have my my spellcaster, my Damsel of Life, but everything else is gone. So I just have to get, you know, as much cycle charge as I can, as Bretonnia is known to do. So we pin these guys down, and then we just knock them about. I see the Minotaurs are, you know, angling for a charge, but I'm gonna, you know what, why not get rid of these guys? If I can get rid of them and Khazrak, that can help push the balance bar in my favor. I don't want them returning, so he does shatter. That's a big win for us. He's going to be off the battlefield soon, and these guys are going to die, because even 3 Minotaurs, while their health is very low, probably at, what, 45, if they are able to get a charge into Luan, that could be devastating. And as they're chasing me, I'm trying to get some charges with them, with these Grail Knights, because they're not going to countercharge, so that's huge. And then I cast a nice heal, which is going to keep them bolstered in this fight, an Earthblood. Yeah, so on the charge they do a ton of damage, but in prolonged fighting, it's just going to go in the Minotaur's favor. But I'm just trying my best I can to get rid of them. I probably should have brought Luan back at this point. I send the Mounted Yeomen in there as sacrificial lambs to keep the Koroks Bannerrippers from getting into my Grail Knights. He's going to Melkoff them. But I bring in Luan, who just gets, oh nice, he just smokes that guy and then flies up. That's pretty cool. I did not do that deliberately, but yeah, we're able to get that hit. We're able to bring these guys down, and that's big. All my units are fleeing, but we do have a very healthy unit of Grail Knights somewhere, but maybe less healthy than they used to be. Oh yeah, not very healthy at all anymore. But yeah, pretty damaged. But we were able to get rid of, you know, the Minotaurs, which is their big anti-large killing force. He does get this guy out, extend a little too far, and we're going to take him down. And really all they have left is Koroks Bannerrippers, which is a very good unit, but, you know, the balance bar, army losses, it starts swinging in their favor, and that'll be all she wrote. So GG to Gujira, very, very fun battle. Let's go look at the tail, at the wrap-up here. So, yeah, good job. Obviously, my Grail Knights were MVPs. They are the most expensive unit in this matchup. I don't know what took them down, these guys, so quickly, because they didn't seem to be fighting anything besides Khazrak. So maybe Khazrak is really good at killing them. I have no idea. But yeah, so they didn't perform the best, but I think that in a lot of matchups, they're going to be very, very good. They're not going to be a must-pick, but they're going to be a pretty solid option. And I think the same goes for the Knights of the Lionhearted. Let's go look at the prices real quick. I'm pretty sure the Quinel are I want to say 1400, and the Knights of Lionheart are 1250. I want to say that's what it is. Let's go to Bretonia here. So let's see if I'm right. Okay, so 1450 and 12. So I had it almost right. So 50 there. So yeah, so you see that obviously these guys are better, you know, in a few different ways. A little bit more health, more weapon strength. They have that higher bonus, higher charge. They never get tired. But they don't cause fear, so that's big. These guys cause fear. These guys are really immune to the psychology. So yeah, but for 300 less, you're probably almost always going to bring them. I think these guys got cheaper. I don't know what they cost before, but I think they've been cheapened, if that makes any sense a little bit. And oh wow, Knights of the Realm are now 950. I think so. They also took they also were much cheaper than they used to be, or at least I think they used to be 1,000. So that's a nice little boon to the Bretonians, because these units are very, very good. I don't know if their stats took a hit though. They don't look as good as they used to be. But yeah, I'll have to see. My classic build used to be 1-1 and one of these, two of these rather. That was always a solid unit because you could pretty much deal with any anti-large unit at that point. Of course, this game is different because of large units, or sorry, single entity units are you know, just disaster for Bretonia. But that's besides the point. I didn't bring the Fleur-de-Lis, defensive Fleur-de-Lis, who are just, you know, better version of these guys, not by much. They have Frenzy, nothing special. Yeah, nothing crazy. I did not bring these guys. I wonder how these guys would do. The Beast Slayers and Montfort. Their stats are pretty terrible. They basically have the stats of Storm Vermin. Let's actually look at that. They have very similar stats to Storm Vermin with halberds, but I think far less health. So with Storm Vermin halberds, let's see. Oh, I gotta get rid of this. So let's see how they compare to. So yeah, they have far less health, far less models, far less health, less armor, more leadership, of course, slower, far slower. A little bit more melee attack, far more melee defense. Okay, so they have way more melee defense. I guess that's the one saving grace. And a little bit less melee attack. And then what's their bonus? 15 versus, what is this guy's bonus? 17. So, yeah, pretty comparable to Storm Vermin halberds, and I'm not the biggest fan of them, so I'm not sure that they'll have much of a place in this battle, but who knows? In the meta, rather, but who knows? We'll see. It'll take time. I've heard these guys perform very well, so I'm interested to try them out. Obviously, they don't have shields, but they do have, I think, a higher attack. They attack faster because then they have their dual wielding, and then of course they have fire and magic, which is pretty useful against a lot of factions, and then just higher stats across the board. And 44 weapon strength is no joke. Okay, but I think that's about it. So thanks guys for joining us for another early access content. That was a demonstration of some of the regiments of renown that Bretonia will be receiving. Hopefully the lady can be great again, make Bretonia great again. We'll see. We're going to build a wall, a glorious wall. It's going to be across Bastogne. You know, it's going to keep all those dirty Empire Reichlanders out of here. You know, they're not saying their best. They're not saying their best Reichlanders. Okay, we're getting their you know, they're not sending engineers exactly. They're not sending their cannonball makers. We're still using bows. They're sending the you know, peasants. Toy. That's the last thing we need more of. Anyways, thanks for joining us, guys. Joining me, rather. And I'll see you guys around the bend with some more early access content.